सागमा पधमरे नी नी रे मा धप ग ग ग सागमा पधमरे नी नी रे मा धप ग ग ग मना मनातील ध्यासा मधुनी उमले फलश्रुती सरस्वतीच्या गाभाऱ्यातील ज्योती फलश्रुती मना मनातील ध्यासा मधुनी उमले फलश्रुती सरस्वतीच्या गाभाऱ्यातील ज्योती फलश्रुती
Good evening, students. I am Ms. Arundhati Rane, retired Vice Principal of DG Ruparel Junior College. Wish to introduce to you our dynamic teacher in political science, Mr. Prathamesh Kudakar from DG Ruparel Junior College. He has not one, not two, but 3 degrees of masters in political science, economics, and education. He has got teaching experience of not only junior college, but right from school's secondary section up to the degree college. He has excelled in various teachers' aptitude and eligibility tests. He has attended various seminars and webinars. So Falashruti takes the pride in presenting to you Prathamesh sir, who is so actively involved in dispersing knowledge. You may ask your queries in the chat box. Over to you, Prathamesh sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. I think we can start now.
Yes.
Very warm welcome to all of you. And let us start this political science guidance program. Let me share screen over here.
जिथे मोबाईल ठेवलेला तिथेच ठेवा ना.
Able to see this screen.
Sir, we can't see your screen.
Political science subject guidance. Yes, is it visible?
So we can't see.
अखिल सर बायलिंगवर घ्या. बायलिंगवर घ्या. थोडं थोडं मध्ये मध्ये मध्ये.
प्रथमेश आहे का? पीपीटी त्यांचं स्क्रीन शेअर होत नसतं.
प्रथमेश सर काय प्रॉब्लेम होतोय? इथून शेअर करू का पीपीटी?
प्रथमेश काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे?
हा.
Am I audible now? Please let me know, then I will share my screen.
Yes, yes. Start.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, yes. Let us start.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So, students, let us start this subject guidance for political science. Uh, I think from this textbook page, very first page, as well as from the last page of this political science textbook, standard 12th, we are getting general idea about what we are going to learn in this textbook. Okay. So, generally, this textbook or our content, our syllabus is concentrated on world politics. Let us see this, or let us understand our syllabus or what we are going to learn in this year. Chapter number 1, the name of this chapter is The World Since 1991. We are going to understand the developments in international relations in the post-Cold War era. As you all know very well, in 11th standard political science textbook, we learn about the basic concepts of political science like state, nation, and liberty, equality, such concepts. And from that concepts, we got basic idea about political science and what is political science. Now, in this year, our syllabus is concentrated on how world changed after 1991. And you know very well that after 1991, why this topic is selected. The reason behind that is after 1991, all over the world, the LPG policy, it means liberalization, privatization, and globalization, this policy adopted all over the world. And that's why purposefully this modern political science or modern age political science is selected to learn. Okay, so this year we are going to understand that how international relations changed or developed in the post Cold War era. At the same time, in first chapter we are going to understand the growing importance of humanitarian issues, problems of terrorism, and the rise of multipolarity and regionalism. So basically, these issues, humanitarian issues, terrorism, multipolarity, and regionalism. Over here, you should concentrate on multipolarity and regionalism. And to understand multipolarity, unipolarity, and bipolarity is also very important. The concept of regionalism, try to understand the concept of regionalism properly, because regionalism, the concept in, if you learn the concept in Indian context, then the meaning of regionalism is different, while in world context the regionalism meaning is different. Over here the meaning of regionalism means the grouping of some countries which are proximal to one another, okay, which are geographically proximal to one another. They come together and form one organization. It is called regionalism. So United Nations is a regional is the example of regionalism, you can say. Okay, then the next chapter which we are going to learn, that chapter is globalization. In globalization, we all are aware about what is globalization, but over here the focus is on politics, and not only on politics, but at the same time, with the help of politics, how economic issues, scientific and technological issues, as well as society and cultural issues raised due to this globalization, and how in the context of India these all issues, these all changes, or one can say challenges, are important, and what type of policies over here political science come into picture, over here politics come into picture, and you can say that what type of policies one should adopt to find out the reasons, to find out the answer for these challenges. And this we are going to learn in globalization chapter. Then the next chapter is humanitarian issues. In humanitarian issues, this chapter introduces the contemporary issues like environment and sustainability, poverty and development, as well as gender issues. These all are humanitarian issues, and to tackle with this, which type of different policies government should adopt is very important, and which policies government already formed, as well as whichever measures government taken for environment sustainability, to remove poverty, to follow the path of development, as well as to find out the solutions on gender issues. This we are going to learn in this chapter. At the same time, develop the ability to analyze these contemporary issues in the Indian context. Here, the important thing of your textbook is the textbook is completely based on the contemporary issues whichever we are facing at present. Okay, so this is something very important of related to your textbook, and whenever you will attempt your question paper, of course we are going to discuss that also after this. At that time you have to keep this in mind that you should
आपण next comment एक
give the reference of current affairs, or you should give the reference of current news. Then only we can say the aim of this syllabus is fulfilled. Okay, the next chapter is national integration. Again, as I told you, just now we discussed that the whole textbook is related to our contemporary issues. So national integration is also very important for country, and this inculcate the value of national identity and national integration. So how national integration can be maintained? So through peace, stability, this national integration can be maintained, and that's why we are going to learn the peace and stability also in this chapter. Then good governance. Over here, the focus is little bit shifted towards the one can say, because last year you also learned about administration. What is administration and what are the types of administration? So in good governance, what are the traditional approaches of public administration or governance, one can say, and because of this globalization policy, because of this liberalization policy, how our focus is shifted to rethink on it, as well as the understand the various dimensions of good governance in India. And as science and technology develop, how different ways government adopted for providing good governance. And then very last chapter is related to India and the world. This chapter we are going to learn the India's foreign policy, its aim and objective, as well as how Indian foreign policy form, and how India's maintain relation with various countries. Okay, this we are going to learn in this chapter. Now let us see the scheme of evaluation. See, the two types of evaluation. One is written examination, which we call as board exam, HSC board exam, 80 marks, 3 hours, and then internal evaluation. Of course, we are going to discuss both the pattern of evaluation descriptively, so don't worry about it. Internal evaluation, 20 marks, 1 hour. This internal evaluation will be at college level as per the provided timetable by HSC board examination, and the total evaluation is 100 marks. Okay, so one thing over here related to internal evaluation, 20 marks, you are going to keep in mind. For political science internal evaluation, the pattern is objective type of pattern is given. It means 20 questions going to ask. You have to attempt all the questions, and provided time or time duration is 1 hour. So this is evaluation pattern. Let us see the proposed question paper pattern, standard 12th. Each and every question we are going to discuss. Total 7 questions are there. Question number 1, A, B, C, D and E. These are the sub questions, and question number 2 is divided into 2 sub questions, A and B. So question number 1 and question number 2, these 2 questions are totally objective type of questions, and that's why in option column you can observe no any option provided to you. It means whichever questions given to you, you have to attempt all the questions. No option is given to you, and because of that the total marks is, I think, if you count these marks, then marks are 29 marks. Okay, so total objective 29 marks objective board is going to give you. Question number 1, A, B, C, D, E, and question number 2, A and B, completely objective based questions. Question number 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, these questions are descriptive type, and out of this question, question number 3, 4 and 5, these questions are short answered question, and question number 6 and 7 long answered question. Okay, let us see question wise. The question number 1 is choose the appropriate alternative and complete the following sentence. Over here board will give you 4 alternatives. Out of 4 alternatives you are going to choose any one. So over here India signed the dash with Pakistan. You are going to select out of 4 alternatives which are provided the correct answer. 4 alternatives are Farakka Agreement, Brahmaputra Treaty, Satluj Agreement and Indus Treaty. You will write answer in answer sheet as answer, and then again you are supposed to write full statement with correct answer. So India signed the Indus Treaty with Pakistan, and the word or whichever is answer that you are supposed to underline that answer. So your answer should be as you are able to see on screen, that is India signed the Indus Treaty with Pakistan. Okay, then question number B, 1B is identify the incorrect pair in every set, correct it and rewrite. Here total 2 questions actually in this. First is identify the incorrect pair. whichever pair is incorrect, that you have to identify it first, and then after you have to correct it. Okay, so you supposed to write the incorrect pair also, and then after the correct one. Now in this example over here, total 4 pairs are given. In board may give you, or in some examination, such set, 3 pairs set also board may give you. Okay, such type of sets, total 3 sets will be there, and out of these 3 sets, you are going, each state contains one incorrect pair. So over here, column A and column B, only one pair is incorrect, all other pairs are correct. So first one is Khalistan, Punjab, the Assam oil blockade, 1980, LTTE, Kerala, and Mumbai riots, 1991. Over here, the answer is, incorrect pair is LTTE, Kerala, and the correct answer is LTTE in Sri Lanka. Okay, so answer is LTTE, Sri Lanka is the correct answer. One thing over here you are going to keep in mind, and that is the column B you have to correct. Okay, you are supposed to correct the column B. You should not change the column A, because column B is answer column. Column A you should not change. You are supposed to write column A as it is, and whatever is fit, whatever is answer for column A, that you are going to change. Okay, yes, let us see question number 1C. Complete the following sentences by using the appropriate reason. In this type of question, one incomplete sentence board will given to you, and there will be 3 reasons or 3 appropriate options. Out of that 3, one is correct, that you have to choose. Here, after independence, India had a mixed economy, as it had adopted the economic pattern of Soviet Union. Both public and private sector existed, and it was non-aligned. So after independence, India had a mixed economy. Why? What is the answer? Again, whenever you will attempt such type of question, in your answer, you will write the given statement first, which is, after independence, India had a mixed economy, as both public and private sector existed. So you are supposed to write the given statement as well as answer, and whichever answer you are writing, you are supposed to underline that answer. Let us see question number 1D. State the appropriate concept for the given statement. This is new type of question which board is added in political science question paper. Such type of questions you already attempt in 11th standards. Here, one statement is given, and from that statement, you are going to identify the appropriate concept. Whenever you will attempt this question, you have to keep in mind that you are going to identify the appropriate concept, and not an example, not any word, not any country's name, but the concept is required. Remember this, you have to identify the concept. So human rights is a concept. Okay, USA, India, these are not a concept. Please remember this whenever you will attempt this question. Okay. So over here, the question is introduction of high yielding variety of seeds and irrigation methods. Which concept is this? So let us see. The answer is introduction of high yielding variety of seeds and irrigation methods is green revolution. So here the concept is green revolution. Again, because this is objective type of question, it's always better to write provided statement and then after your answer. Yes, then question number 1E, find the odd word in the given set. This is also new type of question which is added in our paper pattern, political science paper pattern. Let us see the given words. Here the words are mobile, satellite, internet and gramophone, and the answer is gramophone. Here you can write direct answer. Next question is question number 2A. Complete the following concept map. This question actually contains 4 marks and this is compulsory type of question. I would like to explain something related to this question. In this type of question, complete the concept map. Board may ask you one concept map or two concept map for 4 marks. If board asks you two concept maps, then in each concept map there will be 2 fill-ups, and if board asks you only one concept map, then in that one concept map itself 4 fill-ups will be given to you. There are 2 ways to attempt this question. The first one is you can write or you can attempt this question as you are attempting other questions, short answer questions, writing direct answer, or you can draw that particular concept map which is given and you can write the answer. If 2 concept maps are given, then I think it is difficult for you to draw that 2 concept maps and write the answer in it, because the last question is for 10 marks, which also we are supposed to complete for good marks. Okay, so whenever there are 2 concept maps, it's always better to attempt the question without drawing concept map, directly write down the answers. So it's depend on you and your writing speed how you can complete your answer. The concept map question is also newly added in political science question paper. Now another very unexpected question is added, and that is observe the given map and answer the following question. But you all are familiar with such type of question because you already attempt this question in 10th standard geography paper. Now what is the difference between the geography paper question and this one? The difference over here is questions will be based on political perspective, and that's why please read this question what is given over here. For example, name the countries which were formed after the disintegration of the USSR. Here the question is not direct like which countries you are able to observe in the map or name the countries which are given in the map. But this question is an indirect question, and that's why you should know that which countries are formed after the disintegration of USSR. So one may raise question that such type of question, which is map based question, are from geography paper, but over here the political perspective is adopted, and because of that you should know the concepts behind that. Okay, so over here Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus, Ukraine, and Moldova, these countries are firm, and of course, you know that all other countries with this. Now, as I guided related to question 2A, which is based on concept map, I would like to tell related to this question also. The allotted marks for this question are 5. But at the same time, you should keep this in mind. The options board is not going to give you option. It means only one question can be asked for 5 marks. Whichever example now over here I taken, in it only one question I asked for 5 marks, and that question is name the countries which were formed after the disintegration of the USSR. And because of that, 5 countries name written in the answer. Board is not clear that whether they are going to ask only one question for 5 marks or 2 questions for 2 and 3 marks, or 5 questions for 1 mark. And because of that, any one type of pattern or any one type can be asked in examination, and this thing we have to keep in mind. Now, question number 3 onwards, short answers questions are started. The first one over here is state whether the following statements are true or false with reason, any 5. Total 7 statements will be given to you, and out of that 7 you are going to attempt any 5. Here one question I presented, that is non-state actors have become irrelevant in the age of globalization. Here each question is for 2 marks, like this way 5 2s are 10, so total 10 marks. 1 mark is for stating whether the given statement is true or false. Please keep this in mind. You are supposed to write true or false. You should not write correct or incorrect or agree or disagree words. You are supposed to write the words true or false. And another mark is for appropriate reason. Here, though the 1 mark is given for appropriate reason, but my suggestion to you is you are supposed to write at least 2 points, so that if examiner feels 1 point is irrelevant, then he may consider the another point and you will get marks for it. Then the next question is explain the correlation between the following, any 3, for 9 marks. This is most confusing question for most of the students. There is a difference between correlation and distinguish between. You all solved distinguish between question very well. You are dividing the page and you solve the distinguish between question. In correlation question also, you can divide the page, or you can solve the correlation question paragraph wise. It means you can attempt, you can write answer paragraph wise, and my suggestion is write answer paragraph wise, don't divide page. The reason behind that is, in this question you are supposed to correlate the given point, or one can say the given, for example over here, woman empowerment and poverty. Now these two words, these two phrases, you are going to correlate with one another. How woman poverty is related to woman empowerment is related to poverty, and how because of poverty it's difficult, or how poverty creates difficulties in woman empowerment, and because of that it's easy to attempt this question point wise or paragraph wise, but distinguish wise or differentiated, if you divide the page and attempt this question, then sometimes it may difficult. So total 3 marks are there for explaining the correct correlation. At least 3 points you are supposed to write, and with the help of these 3 points you are going to explain the correlation between these concepts. Then after, the next question is express your opinion of the following in 25 to 30 words, any 3, for 12 marks. This question, express your opinion, is completely based on your understanding of the syllabus as well as your understanding of the subject and the current affairs. For example, I would like to present one question over here, that is, there is a need to protect the environment. Now this question as it is, you will not find in textbook. This is related to chapter number 1, actually, sustainable development. Okay, chapter number 1 as well as chapter number 2 over here come into picture. But this environment and sustainable development, your understanding of this sustainable development and why the environment should be protected, you are right, you should write it. Okay, now whenever you will attempt such type of question, express your opinion, you are expected to write, or my advice to you is, please write down some news or some current issues related to this. For example, if we consider the same question, that there is a need to protect the environment, you can write about Mumbai Metro. Okay, how car shed, the place of car shed of Mumbai Metro is changed from RA to Kanjurmarg. Okay, so this you can write over here. So your understanding of the subject knowledge as well as your understanding of the current scenario, examiner will come to know, and you will get good marks over here. So students are expected to express their opinion on given statement or question with the help of learned syllabus. At the same time, I already told you, with the help of current affairs. Okay, yes, the next one is answer the following question in 80 to 100 words, any 2. For 5 marks you are going to attempt this question. What is empowerment? Suggest measures for empowerment of women. This question is given to you. Now this, as I told you, whenever I show you paper pattern, at that time I told you question number 6 and question number 7, these two questions are long answered question, and you all know how to attempt long answered question. Let me present over here. Yes, you are expected to write first introduction. Now in this question, in this case, the introduction will be what is empowerment. So you are expected to write about empowerment, examples of empowerment, definition, meaning of empowerment. Then after your main answer, that is measures for empowerment of women. Now here suggest measures. Suggest measures said it means question is not asking you to write measures taken by government, but you can suggest other measures also. Okay, so again this is open-ended question. This type of questions we are calling as open-ended question. It means they didn't mention that explain the measures taken by government for empowerment of women, but suggest the measures for empowerment of women. And in such cases you can write your own measures also over here. You can suggest some new measures also for women empowerment. And then after the conclusion, you are expected to write. Here 1 mark is for your introduction, 3 marks are for your measures, and again 1 mark is for conclusion. Like this way the distribution of marks will be there. Okay, then let us see the another one, question number 7, which is answer the following question with reference to given points in 150 to 200 words, any one. Now this question is for 10 marks. Here important thing which you are going to keep in mind is with reference to the given points. Earlier we are giving only question, and on the basis of that question you can write any point to justify your answer. But this time in political science the pattern changed little bit, and board in answer itself is giving you the points, and on the basis of that points or with the help of that points you are going to attempt your paper. Okay, so yes, so first you are going to write introduction, then after given points it means explanation. Given points, it means in this case the points are history, European Commission, European Parliament, European Council, European Court of Justice. These are the given points, and on the basis of these given points you are expected to write explanation, and then after the conclusion of this. Okay, so here your all the questions we saw. At the same time how to attempt that questions, this also we did. Now let us see the structure of internal evaluation. Internal evaluation, the questions will be an application base. Again, now application base means what? As we saw, the questions in express your opinion, that questions are also application based question. So like that the questions going to ask in internal evaluation, and test should be conducted for internal assessment for 20 marks. So as I told you, internal marks are 20, but no any project. You have to give test, you have to attempt written test. Every question is compulsory. It means total 20 questions going to give you, no any options in it. You are going to attempt all 20 questions. Each question carries 1 mark. Application based test should be based on entire syllabus. The application based test is on entire syllabus. Whenever question paper will be formed, at that time entire syllabus will be taking into consideration, and the allotted time for this application based test is 1 hour. Again, point number 3, each question carries 1 mark. It doesn't mean that you are going to attempt in 1 word or 1 sentence, because it is application based test. So to attempt any question, it require more than 1 or 2 sentences, because how you can write or how you can answer the application based question in 1 word. Okay, so remember this point also, that though it carries 1 mark, it doesn't mean that you will write only 1 word or only 1 sentence. Over here you should give a satisfactory answer for it. Now over here, let me present some sample questions for internal evaluation. And why I would like to present some sample question, the reason is, in all other subjects, the pattern for internal evaluation is fixed. But for political science, the pattern for internal evaluation is not given. Only whatever I presented in earlier slide, that much only is given to the teachers. And because of that, which type of questions they are going to ask is important. So over here, you can see some of the questions related to internal evaluation. These are the sample questions which can be asked in examination. Okay. Do you think that world's multipolar march is responsible for creating tense situation? So one can write yes also or no also, but uh, you are supposed to write the reasons for it. Okay, so you should give the reason why you feel or why you are writing yes and why you are writing no. So you should give the reasons for that. Okay, the next question is, what can we do for enhancement of environment in your village? Mention your opinion. In India, which name is replaced for Niti Aayog? Sorry, Niyojan Ayog. So it is, the answer is Niti Aayog. Okay. So these questions are there. Next question is, do you think that gender difference issue have been decreased because of various status made by the different reference to women? So these different type of questions can be asked, which is not directly based on your, or which are not directly from your textbook, but these questions are based on your syllabus. Now let us see unit wise distribution of marks. Total there are 6 units, and with option, marks with option are given. So unit number 1, the world since 1991, contains 19 marks, of course marks with option. Unit 2, the key concepts and issues since 1991, globalization, total 19 marks. Then Unit 3, Key Concepts and Issues since 1991, Humanitarian Issues, total 20 marks. Unit 4, Contemporary India, Challenges to Peace, Stability and National Integration, 20 marks. Unit 5, Contemporary India, Good Governance, 20 marks. Unit 6, India and the World, 20 marks. So again you can see equal distribution of marks, actually speaking, is did by board, and that's why you are supposed to give equal weightage for all the chapters. Okay, total 6 chapters only are there, and that's why you should give equal status to all the chapters. Then let us see the reduced syllabus for academic year 2021. The reduced syllabus from chapter number 1, the world since 1991, the page number 1, column number 1, the content to be deleted is do you know content, a superpower to the Cold War, and suggestions which are given by board, that suggestions are for self-study, will not be considered for board evaluation. So here these are for self-study, and this is not going to consider for board evaluation, but at the same time college teachers can consider this for internal evaluation. Okay, board is mentioned that board is not going to consider this for board evaluation, but freedom is given to the teachers to consider the same syllabus for internal evaluation. And because of that, though the college teachers are not going to teach you this, but you are going to read these do you know boxes or whatever deleted content, so that you can attempt your internal evaluation paper properly. Then on page number 5th also, human rights in the post code to humanitarian laws, this is deleted. Page number 6, do you know box is deleted, humanitarian law played by. Page number 7, again do you know box is deleted. Page 11, do you know box is deleted. Like this way, chapter number 2, the key concepts and issues since 1991, globalization. Page 16, column number 2, general agreement on to resolution procedures, and page 17, column 2, what do you think is deleted. Then after chapter 3, key concepts and issues since 1991, humanitarian issues, page 27, find out and discuss. Page 28, do you know box, and page 29, do you know box. Then page 29, another column number 2's green revolution box, and page 30's find out, here are some two skill training to youth, this box is deleted. Chapter 4, contemporary India, challenges to peace, stability and national integration, page 41, column number 1, find out and discuss. page 42, column number 2, information given by the government to the Lok Sabha. Page 44 and 45, some examples is deleted from chapter number 4. Chapter 5, Contemporary India, Good Governance, page 55, the 6 pillars image is deleted, and page 56, 6 pillars of e-governance is also deleted. And page number, chapter number 6, India and the World, page 60, column number 1, do you know some of the important military alliances during the Cold War? This box is also deleted. Okay, so I think here our guidance is over. If anyone have any type of question, they can ask in the chat box. Let me stop this. Yes, okay. So if anyone have any type of question, then they can ask, or madam, you can.
Yeah, Prathamesh, someone
yes.
had query in question 1E.
Question number 1E, okay, yes. Yes, question number 1E. Let me. Okay, let us see now what is question number 1E. I think it's yes, question number 1 is find odd word in the given set. This is question number 1E, and what 4 sets will be given to you. In that 4 sets, each set will contain 4 words, and out of that 4 words, 1 word will be wrong that you are going to identify. Okay, so this is find odd word. This question is question number 1E. So over there you are going to find the odd word, and only odd word you are going to mention in answer sheet.
Okay, thank you. Ridisha, hope you are satisfied. Okay, students, I hope you have gained a lot from this Falashruti session with Prathamesh sir. Keep looking forward for more sessions on various subjects. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prathamesh.
Thank you.
Let us conclude this session here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Saga